Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. To make this summer shell cardigan you will need a weight 3 yarn and a 5mm crochet hook. In this video I make a size small. For all other sizes check my blog crochetwithcarrie.com. So you're going to begin by making a chain of 82. Then single crochet into the second chain from the hook and then single crochet into every chain all the way across. So at the end of that row, chain 3. This counts as our first double crochet. Then turn your work and into that very same space you're going to make another double crochet. Then chain 1. You're going to skip the next 4 single crochet and then into the 5th you're going to start your shell. So make 3 double crochet all into the one space. Then chain 2 and then make another 3 double crochet all into that same stitch. So that's your first shell stitch made. So next we're going to chain 1 and then we're going to skip the next 4 single crochet. And then into the 5th we're going to make a V-stitch. So make a double crochet, chain 2 and then another double crochet all into that same stitch. So that's your V-stitch completed. You're going to repeat that again. We're going to chain 1, skip 4 and then into the 5th we're going to make our second shell stitch. So make 3 double crochet, then chain 2 and then 3 double crochet all into that same stitch. Next we're going to chain 1, skip the next 4 stitches and then do your V-stitch. So that's a double crochet, chain 2 and then another double crochet all into that same stitch. So you're going to repeat that all the way across. We're going to chain up 1, skip 4, then do your shell, then chain 1, skip 4 and then do your V-stitch. Here we are at the end. I've 5 stitches left. I've just completed a shell stitch. So next we're going to skip those 4 stitches and then do 2 double crochet into that last stitch. So after your shell, chain up 1, skip the next 4 single crochet and then place 2 double crochet into that last stitch. So at the end of that row, chain up 3, Don't forget this counts as your first double crochet. Then turn your work, make a double crochet into that same stitch. Then chain 1, and then we're going to make 3 double crochet into that chain 2 space of our shell stitch. So go ahead and make 3 double crochet. Then chain 2, and then make 3 more double crochet into that same space. So next, chain 1, and then into the chain 2 space of our V-stitch, we're going to place a double crochet, a chain 2, and then another double crochet. So we're going to repeat that all the way across. We're going to chain 1, then into that chain 2 space of our shell stitch, we're going to do 3 double crochet, then chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet. Then chain 1, and then into the center of our V-stitch, we're going to do a double crochet, then chain 2, and then double crochet. So we're going to repeat that all the way across. Just make sure that you do a chain 1 after each shell and after each V-stitch. So keep going all the way across. So here we are at the end. I've just made my last shell. So we're going to do 2 double crochet on top of this chain 3. Just right there. So after our shell, make sure to chain up 1 and then do 2 double crochet into that chain 3. So that row will form our pattern, so you're just going to keep repeating it over and over again. So you're going to begin by chaining 3, then double crochet into that same stitch. Then chain 1, and then you're going to do a shell stitch in the center of that chain 2 space. then chain 1, and then do a V-stitch in the center of that chain 2 space. So you're going to repeat that all the way across. Repeat this row over and over again until your back panel is about 25 to 26 inches long. It all depends on how long you want your cardigan to be. So keep repeating this row over and over again. So once you have your 25 or 26 inches done, your back panel should look like this. So now we're going to just straighten out the edge up here. So continuing on from where you are now, we're going to chain up 1 and then single crochet into that very first stitch. Then chain 4. Then we're going to single crochet into the center of that shell stitch. Chain 4, single crochet into the center of that V-stitch. So you're going to repeat that all the way across. We're going to chain up 4, single crochet into the center of the shell, chain 4, and then single crochet into the center of the next V. So repeat that all the way across. So here we are at the end. I've just single crocheted into the center of my last shell stitch. So next, chain 4, and then single crochet on top of that beginning chain 3. So next, chain 1, and then turn your work. Then place your first single crochet into that very first stitch. And into this chain 4 space, we're going to place 4 single crochet. Then place a single crochet on top of the next single crochet. Then into the next chain 4 space, do 4 single crochet. So you're going to repeat that all the way across. Once you have your 4 single crochet done here in this space, you're going to move on to the next single crochet and just place 1 single crochet on top of that single crochet. So repeat that all the way across. So once you've single crocheted all the way across, fasten off and put to one side. And now we're going to work on our front panels. Our front panels are the exact same pattern as our back panel, only this time we're going to chain 42. Once you have your chain of 42, we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook and then single crochet all the way across. At the end of the row, chain 3, this counts as our first double crochet, turn your work, then place your next double crochet into the very same stitch. Then we're going to chain 1, skip 4, and then into the 5th, do your shell stitch. then chain 1, skip 4, and then we're going to do our next V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet into the same stitch. So as you can see, it's the exact same pattern as our back panel, so just keep repeating that all the way across. So at the end, chain 1 after your last shell stitch, skip 4, and then place 2 double crochet into that last stitch. At the end, chain 3, then turn your work, double crochet into that same stitch, then chain 1, shell stitch into the center of this shell stitch, chain 1, then V-stitch into the center of the next V-stitch. So you're going to repeat that all the way across. You're going to keep repeating this row until you have the same amount of rows as you do for your back panel. And then you're going to do the exact same thing by evening up the row at the end by doing your chains and your single crochet at the top, just the same way as you did for the back panel. And then of course you're going to make your second front panel in the exact same way. So now at this stage you should have 2 panels that look like this. So you're going to grab your back panel, lay that down, then grab your 2 front panels and lay that on top. Make sure that your shells are facing up the way and that all panels are facing the same way. Just up the way like that. So now we're going to slip stitch across here, cut our yarn, fasten off. Then we're going to slip stitch across here and then fasten off. So next for the sleeves, it's the exact same pattern, only for the sleeve for a size small, chain 62. So keep going with your shell pattern the exact same way as you did with your back panel. I did 10 rows of the shell stitch. So once you have that done, chain 1, single crochet into that same stitch, then chain 4. We're just going to even out the rows. So chain 4, single crochet into the center of the next shell, then chain 4, single crochet into the center of the next V. So repeat that all the way across, chain 4 and then single crochet into the center of the next shell stitch. So at the end, chain 1, Then turn your work into that very first stitch, make your first single crochet, then make 4 single crochet into the next chain 4 space, single crochet into the next single crochet, then do 4 single crochet into the next chain 4 space, and just repeat that all the way across. When you come to the end, cut your yarn and fasten off. Once you have your first sleeve made, you're going to make your second. So once you have that done, we're going to lay the body of our cardigan out flat, just like this. Just make sure that the wrong side is facing up. Now grab your sleeve, make sure that the shells are facing up the way. Fold it in half. This is just to find our center stitch. So once you have that done, grab your center stitch here at the fold. Then grab a stitch marker, stick it into that stitch. And then we're going to line that up with our shoulder seam. So just attach your sleeve there at that shoulder seam. Then grab a second stitch marker and just secure the end, just like so. And now we're just going to slip stitch all the way across. You can choose to slip stitch or just grab a yarn needle and some of your yarn and you can stitch it. It's up to you, whatever way you want to do it. Then once you have that done, fold your cardigan over, attach your yarn here, then slip stitch across and all the way down. And then do the same for the other side. So now we're going to work on the fringe on the bottom edge of the cardigan. So grab 2 pieces of yarn about 8 or 9 inches long, then fold them in half, just like so. Grab your hook, insert your hook into the corner of one of your front panels, then grab your thread and pull it through, making a small loop. Then you're going to pull the tail through that loop and then pull tight. So you're going to repeat that. Grab 2 pieces at a time. Then from where you had your first piece of fringe, count up 3 or 4 stitches from that. Then insert your hook. And then once you have that done, pull your yarn through, make a loop, and then grab the tail and bring that through that loop. So you're going to repeat that all the way across the entire bottom edge of your cardigan. So once you have your fringe done, you're just going to even it out, grab a scissors and just cut each one of these pieces straight all the way around. And that's it, that's your cardigan completed. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe. Don't forget the free pattern will be on my blog, crochetwithcarrie.com, so please go and check that out. So until next time, take care.